And he's like, "Oh, do you guys want to meet Obama?" And we're like, "Yeah, yep,
yeah,
sure do."
Yeah, I think we do.
Fore Play, presented by Barstool Sports. We got a lot of news to get to. A lot of stuff going on in the golf world. Actually, we had just some crazy stuff's happened. Myself and Trent met Barack Obama. We had John Rahm won the Live Golf Championship. We had the Solheim Cup and USA winning. We had another assassination attempt, this time on a golf course of President Trump. But, I mean, we got to start with the biggest news, which I'm sure you guys saw this. Fore Play Tracker was acquired by NUCLR Golf. So for anyone out there who, a monumental. This kind of blew me away. I didn't see this coming. I am a little bit bummed. I saw Dan tweet it that Dan's gone at this point because he's probably the biggest NUCLR Golf fan in the world, to the point where he actually at one point bought a hoodie and a t-shirt and a hat and sent it to my apartment in Scottsdale. So I'm an owner of some NUCLR Golf merchandise, and it's just a big moment. We've loved the tracker community forever on this show, from Tiger Tracker to TW Spot. We've had to issue apologies. We've had all kinds of interactions. Dave at one point was attacking Shane Lowry Tracker when he had money on him at the Masters. So we have a long-standing history with the tracker community, and it's just a big day for Fore Play Tracker.
What is NUCLR Golf, and how can they acquire anybody?
So I'm going to read the statement here that was submitted by Fore Play Tracker, which credit to Tracker, Fore Play Tracker, who he teased this news, I believe, over the weekend, that he had a big announcement coming. And he tweeted out, FPT has gone NUCLR, tagging NUCLR Golf. Awesome. And then he wrote, since its inception in June 2022, the purpose of Fore Play Tracker has been to provide the fans of Fore Play with news and updates on their favorite Barstool Sports personalities. Each day, FPT provides a stage for the common golfer to experience the crew's humorous, insightful, and thrilling moments, both domestically and abroad. I am excited to announce a significant milestone for Fore Play Tracker. FPT is now powered by NUCLR Golf. So I don't know if NUCLR Golf is a power plant. I don't know. It's really
amazing, whatever it is.
Exactly what it provides, but it says
that is what they should call their office, by the way, the power plant.
That's a great call. It says
that's so good.
It says this partnership marks a major step forward in FPT's mission to deliver the most accurate and timely updates to Fore Play fans worldwide. This collaboration with NUCLR Golf will enhance. So here we go, Frankie. I think these are the nuts and bolts of it right here. It says, this collaboration with NUCLR Golf will enhance FPT's overall reach. I am thrilled to have the opportunity to take FPT to even greater heights. I want to extend my sincere thanks to Brent, John, and the entire NUCLR team for their commitment and support in making this possible. A new era has begun, is how he finishes it. FPT is NUCLR.
Shout out to Fore Play Tracker, man. The guy's been grinding.
Mm-hmm.
This tweet got 132,000 views, it says. So, I mean, it has gone NUCLR in terms of what it usually does. That's amazing stuff.
So is he moving on from us? Is he covering other things, or is he going to continue to cover our beat?
I think NUCLR might just be maybe promoting his stuff, which is now promoting our stuff, which is a win-win for everybody.
Always.
I think it's a win-win for everyone. This is huge for Fore Play.
I think it's an amplification of whatever we're doing, and it's only good news. That's kind of the way that I took it. And, for those who don't know, Fore Play Tracker has a distinguished history with us, to the point where he was a main focal point of a meeting with the Sazerac CEO when we were at the Buffalo Trace Distillery, and Fore Play Tracker was on the main PowerPoint. He was talked about for several minutes in front of a man who, I don't know that any of us deserve his time. And
he manages 500 companies.
I did not think that Fore Play Tracker would get the time that he got, but they love Fore Play Tracker. And so he's got a great, he's got a great history. And like you said, this is big, and it hasn't been smooth sailing. I mean, I believe Fore Play Tracker showed up to a job this summer that didn't exist. This is kind of the way that I understood it, that he found out day one that his job was a scam. And I think
he's given me multiple bags of candy. I got nothing but love for Fore Play Tracker.
No, he's great. He's a great addition to the show without having any affiliation with the show, but he does great. I mean, he sometimes he puts out stuff from our videos or our podcast more than we do or our team does. You know what I mean? Like there's like
true.
It's
It's
crazy.
unfortunately a fact.
No, he's great. He's great at what he does, and this is a big milestone for him. So congratulations to Fore Play Tracker. Keep crushing it on the Twitter sphere.
Yeah, it's huge. So I just congratulations. I'm happy for him. I'm excited to kind of see what's next for Fore Play Tracker. And I at one point, I mean, I know he stepped away from the game. If you guys recall, he released a long, very well written and articulate statement about stepping away from the tracker game, and then he came back in aggressive fashion. So it's nice to see everything's kind of panning out for him, and I'm excited to see what's next with the NUCLR Golf collaboration.
This episode is presented to you by Chevy. Get the crew together and head off to the course in the all-new 2024 Chevy Traverse with impressive cargo room, 3-row seating, and the first ever Z71 trim. Traverse can handle your buddies and all of their golf bags with ease. I'm telling you right now, I've been saying this for months at this point. Do not be the person that does not have enough cargo space. You don't want to be the guy that can't fit golf clubs in. You can't take your friends to the golf course and then for ice cream after because you don't have enough space. You got to get an Uber. Just get the bigger car, the Z71 trim. I'm telling you right now, you can fit everything in there with ease. And also the inside of these things, they are incredible. The best in-class 17.7-inch diagonal color touchscreen among all 3-row SUVs. This is what they rate it. It's the best in class. They also have an AutoSense power liftgate. Traverse has elevated the tech game. I'm telling you, you got to see it to believe it. Plus, you don't have to leave anything behind because the redesigned Traverse offers best in class max cargo volume and seating for up to 8 passengers. Not to mention the RS comes standard with the one-touch automatic second row and power folding third row. So make sure you go over to Chevy.com/Traverse to build your own and learn more. You can build all your own color schemes and all of your own builds on that website. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Chevy.com/Traverse. Check it out right now.
Trent Daddy and I had one of the more unexpected meetings and iconic meetings that we'll ever have in our lives on Friday. We went to the Solheim Cup. We were there to promote our merchandise, check out the event for the first time, which was awesome. I'm actually really excited to get into all that. But, dude, we slept in a little bit Friday because we had been traveling, so we missed the morning session and the morning first tee situation, which we got lucky because that was when all the buses were all fucked and all that stuff. But we show up at like noon. We get our credentials. We're getting the lay of the land. And sure enough, we go over to that first tee to be ready for the afternoon wave on Friday. And we're looking on social, and they're saying that Barack Obama had just walked through, and he was on the first tee. And we're like, what? And then we look across. Trent's like, dude, there he is. We're just looking at President Obama across from us in this first tee situation. And we'd never been to this event before. And sometimes it's super tight. And it was way too lenient for me and Trent to have been able to get as close to and eventually meet Obama as we were, because we weren't screened. We kind of just got on a bus in the media lot and got to the tournament. And next thing you know, we're chopping it up, talking golf with President Obama. And we'll get into how all that occurred, but it was super unexpected. And usually when we do these Tiger Woods videos and all that, we have like days to kind of like get in the right mindset or puke or not sleep at all. This just kind of fucking happened out of nowhere.
I've decided that that's better. This was a better way to do it, to not have any idea, because I didn't see any of the social posts either. I didn't see any of that stuff. So you and I were standing on the first tee. I got a picture with the Washington Wizards mascot, G Wiz. Shout out to G Wiz. And I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like a scene at the first tee, loud music. People are cheering. And then I just saw Barack Obama, and I was like, had no idea that he was going to be there. And so, yeah, I think it ends up being better. Like with the Tiger thing, we had a lot of time to think about it, like a couple of days, and I got almost no sleep. But when you're just put into a position where it's like, there's Barack Obama, when it happens in the matter of 10 minutes, it's way better than having time to sit there and be like, what am I going to say? What's my handshake going to be like? Now, we have gone through something like this pretty similar at the President's Cup. Frankie and I, and all of us were there, but we at Quail Hollow it was, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
We got there, we're on the first tee. We're like, this is very cool. And then all of a sudden, George W. is there, Bill Clinton is there, and you're just like, holy shit. And anybody who follows us very closely kind of knows how that went down for me, at least. I just couldn't quite get my hand to shake George W.'s hand because he thought I was taking Frankie's picture. I was taking a video.
Snap the damn thing.
What's that?
Snap that son of a gun.
Snap that son of a gun.
He said, snap that son of a gun. What people need to know, and anybody who's been in the presence of a president at all knows this, things change really fast. And for 1 second, you're at a regular golf event where people are teeing off. Yeah, they're cool events. The President's Cup is great. The Solheim Cup actually was incredible. But then once a president shows up or two presidents show up, you're like, now this is a whole different ballgame. And I don't know how it's going to go. Once we saw Barack Obama, we were like, we would love to meet him, but we didn't know how we were going to be able to do that. Turns out, like Riggs alluded to, it was easier than it should have been, I would say.
It's amazing. I mean, I definitely want to hear how it all went down. It's nuts, like how easily accessible it is on that first tee. I mean, we saw that with Bush and Clinton. They're just walking around. I mean, they are just regular people at the end of the day.
They're not really, though.
But I'm saying, like, they are humans. Like, they have to stand around at some point, right? They're not like levitating around where you can't reach them. Like, they have to walk like past you or whatever.
I guess thing is like the security should not be regular.
Obama had you guys on a drone somewhere. There's no doubt about that. I
hope so.
Yeah,
I hope I was in a sniper's sight at one point.
Yeah. You guys were for sure checked out. Like they knew everything about you.
I hope so. And you're probably right. It's the facial recognition technology. They probably got all that and they hopefully deemed that we weren't much of a threat. But it was a very similar situation, Frankie, to the Bush and Clinton, where everyone was kind of on the first tee, and it's a bit of a party. Everybody's just kind of mingling, hanging. The girls that are playing in the Solheim Cup are coming over. The assistant captains of the teams are kind of coming over, and so Trent and I walk inside the ropes. Trent takes a nice picture with G Wiz. That mascot is incredible, and we thought that was going to be the picture kind of the day. Of like, oh, this is a funny 100%. Little picture. We got Trent and G Wiz, and I texted Corey Kispert, the Wizards guy who's been on this show, and he was like, dude, G Wiz is like the most innocent mascot in the game. He's just like nice and around, and he was great. And then we see Obama, and we're like, holy shit. So players tee off. We kind of meander our way to the other side of the tee over in the pit, I would call it, where kind of Obama was hanging. And quickly we get spotted and escorted out of that region, like very, very quickly. And
props to them.
The young woman who took us out of there, we should be taken out of these places. Like we were way too close. And she was like, we appreciate you guys being here. We love the merchandise, but you kind of have to stand over here, which was like this little roped off pen for media that was close to the area, but not quite in the area. And then we met this angel from heaven, and his name's Jeff. I found it because he emailed me, Trent. His name's Jeff, and we met him before, and I've talked with him before, but I couldn't quite bet. And Frankie basically took our hands and brought us through the gates of heaven. And he was like, why don't you guys come over here with us? What are you doing over there? And we're like, well, we kind of just got kicked out of here. He's like, no. So we go under one rope. And then he's like, how about you come over here with me? We go over under another rope. And about 5-10 minutes later of us hanging out, Obama is like maybe 10 people away from us, maybe 10 yards or so. And he's kind of assessing the situation. This guy's so chill. And he's like, oh, do you guys want to meet Obama? And we're like, yeah, sure do.
Yeah, I think we do.
And he's like, all right. And he's like, no problem. And we're kind of okay. And then he kind of leans over. He talks in somebody's ear. That person talks in somebody else's ear. Kind of right around that moment, some of the players arrive. So there's a lot of hoopla going on the tee, and we're not quite sure. And then all of a sudden, he sort of grabs us, ushers us over. And at that moment, like Barack Obama turns his attention from whatever he had directly to us. And I believe I was first in line. And Trent Ryan, who was an icon for this, had said like 5 minutes before, he's like, are we going hats off for this picture if we get a picture? And I had the Barstool Golf hat on, so I really wanted something Barstool Golf. But we took our hats off right then, and we start talking to him. That was a Frankie move from the George W. Bush interaction too, which was all class. And thank God Trent said that because it just wasn't on my mind. We went hats off, shook his hand, said, Mr. President, I'm Sam Bazoyan. Great to meet you. He shook hand, right? Did the same thing with Trent. And then right away, Frankie,
Which went
he
great.
goes,
Which went great, by the
It
way. I know
went
people are
great.
wondering.
Trent's
huge.
No footage, no nothing. I mean, there's thousands of people on that box.
No one got the handshake.
Not one person got the handshake. So now it seems like I'm lying that because that my handshake went so well with President Obama, which it did. But people are like, we haven't seen it, so anything could happen. But I want people to know it went really well. It was
Frankie.
strong. It was in there. Obama's got really soft hands, and I was just in there. Bang, first try.
everyone in Virginia appeared to have witnessed this interaction. They're coming over to us over the next half hour. Saw
Crazy.
you guys down there with Obama talking. We're like, where's the footage of that? What are
Turn
you
your phone on.
guys doing up
Turn the
there?
video
Everybody's got
feature
their
of your phone on.
so we couldn't get any video of that, but right away we both went. There was no DAP. There was no, and I remember like KFC had recently put out the video of Obama like basically reenacting when it was, I think, with like the US basketball team where he like,
I think it was.
he dapped up all the black dudes and all the white guys of the team. He gave like official handshakes.
It's a Key and Peele skit.
Key and
It's
Peele, yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
That's
like,
right.
Like
And I
my
was
brother
dying.
He's just doing it, and then he's like, "How's it going? Thank you for your service." He
Yep.
was like talking all the
And so we're two white guys approaching Obama,
Oh,
so we
yeah.
went handshake.
We went the most clean like handshake, like you're taught in a book or like your dad teaches you when you're like 5 years
Great.
old. When
V
he's
to
like, this
V.
is how you shake another man's
V
hand.
to V.
We went V to V. And dude, the first words out of his mouth after we introduced, he just goes, Barstool, huh? And he kind of knew what it was. And we were like, yeah, we kind of like work and do all of the golf content for Barstool Sports. And he kind of did his thing, which as a guy that's like loves politics, watched a bunch of his interviews and stuff, he's very measured. He took a second and he's like, now that looks like a fun job, is what he said. And we both were like, yeah, we have a really good time. We're somehow here with you. And then Trent hit him with, so how's your game? And that kind of lit him up, dude. He like got into it and he goes, I gotta be honest, I've been playing quite a bit. I'm down to a 6 handicap. And then
Wow.
I, in that moment, was gonna make a debate joke, but I didn't. And then at that time, he goes, but kind of an inconsistent 6. And then Trent hit him with, isn't that the name of the game? And he loved that. He got a good chuckle out of that. He like put his hand on Trent's shoulder and was like laughing. And so dude,
Holy shit.
We're just sitting there laughing it up on the tee
So-
with fucking Obama. Dude.
Listen, he says I'm an inconsistent 6. I say that's the name of the game.
Awesome.
He laughs, leans on my shoulder, laughing, and in my head I say, "Don't pass out. Don't you do it." And all right, so there's another part of the story too, where so the guy who let us in there was nice enough to snap a bunch of pictures of us talking to Obama.
Is this guy in
And then-
Obama's like camp, or is this a
No,
golf
I think he
course
works for
guy
Golf
that's
Channel.
doing way too much? Okay, so yeah,
He's doing a lot, but we appreciate it. You know
that's
what I mean?
awesome.
So he was nice enough to take pictures, but as all of this is happening, there are 2 professional photographers snapping pictures like you wouldn't believe. You know how they do it. They hit the trigger
Yeah.
and it's ta 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 ta. All right. So I make this pretty easy and stupid golf joke. Barack Obama belly laughs, leans on
Loves
my
it.
shoulder, and I'm thinking those photographers, they've got the best pictures in the world. So after that, we can go through the rest of the interaction, but after the interaction, we go up to them. I have their names because we need to get these guys. We were like, send us everything. Literally, whatever you have on that camera, send it to us. Radio silence.
Oh
Sits.
my god.
Andy Tupman and Jeff Marsh. Whatever you have on your hard drive of the interaction of me, Riggs, and Barack Obama, send it to us. They even said, they were like, we're going to send it to you. It was awesome. It was so cool. And they just haven't said anything.
Oh
Bro,
my god.
me and Riggs haven't posted on our Instagram grid because we're waiting for these pictures.
Damn.
Bro, if there's a
They
picture
got-
of Barack Obama laughing and leaning on me, I mean, I'm going to get
Yeah.
it framed. It's like, what do you
You
want
need-
from me?
yeah.
You got to send
You-
me everything.
You got to get that.
Radio
You have
silence.
to.
Radio
And then
silence.
we can't post it because if there's one of these new pictures is iconic, we're not going to double post. So if you miss
No.
the opportunity with this
It's
iconic
one-time
picture,
thing.
so we're kind of stuck, man. We're in like limbo right now with these guys. And I get it. They had a busy weekend. They're there to work. But you're right, Trent. If
No.
they're listening,
This will be huge. You'll hear from them now. I think.
Andy
gotta get
Tupman,
these
Jeff Marsh.
we got to get these photos. The second half of the interaction, it was probably 60 seconds total. Was maybe our conversation
Yeah.
with President Obama, and I don't really remember it. I'm pretty focused in that situation of trying to steer the ship a little bit, and I get very uncomfortable pretty quickly when it starts to get a little awkward. So as things kind of started to wind down, again, Obama's belly laughing. He's leaning on everybody's shoulder. He's great. Trent's hitting him with fucking golf joke after golf joke. He's just bringing the house down with this guy. And then it starts to wind down. And so then we were kind of like, we got to get this picture. And so then he's done this 8 trillion times. So he lines up, backs up right between us. And then I look at Trent. And at this point, Trent puts his hat on for the picture. And now I'm kind of stuck in no man's land because I'm thinking, what? Because last time I got ridiculed for having my hat on still when I shook Bush's hand. And so I'm thinking, what if I go hat here? People are going to shit at me, but we didn't have anything Barstool Golf. We had the Solheim Barstool Golf merchandise on, but it doesn't say anything Barstool on it. So I was like, we got to have something that says Barstool Golf hat, put it on. And then thankfully, picture came out incredible. And that other picture that our guy, Jeff, the angel guy, was taking pictures on his phone in real time of our interaction. So we had the picture of me and Trent both hatless.
It's a great interaction. I mean, all around. It's one of those that just like you had no idea it was popping off. Like I looked at it and I said, like, what is happening? Right. Because that was Saturday, right?
Friday.
Or Friday. That was Friday. So yeah, we had the Pizza Fest on Saturday. I remember that's right. We were at Borelli's like getting ready for everything. And I'm with like my parents and we're looking down at the phone and that just came up. And I'm like, how is this possible? You know, it's like one of those, there's no way. Agreed. I was like, they were supposed to go there and just look at merch. And then like Trent was down there for a cool 12 hours. And I'm like, they're with the president. Like, that's fucking nuts. I was like, damn, I really had a chance to meet. I would have had to meet and shake 3 living presidents' hands.
Huge. There's
not that many around. Like, it's like, you know, we're only up to number 46 right now. So it's like at the end of the day, this is some serious shit that we're talking about. Shaking presidents' hands.
Dude.
You want to talk about guys that are collecting pencils like me and Riggs? Collecting presidential handshakes and getting them on film and camera is as cool of a thing that you can possibly save or keep. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
That's the coolest thing you can possibly have. So yeah, I was stunned.
I think that was like Trent and I, Trent was very forceful. Like, we need to go sit down somewhere after the whole thing occurred.
When a big moment like that happens, I'm like, we got to sit down. We got to figure out how we're going to put this out because the hat thing was a bit of an issue. But I was like, and a lot of people are coming up to us, which is great. Huge representation of the Solheim Cup. But I was like, we got to get to an air-conditioned room and a chair. And we're going to figure this out. And we're going to put this out in the right way. We had to.
It was, we were kind of both word salad. Remember this part? Trent's like, all right, we got to just go. Let's find some air conditioning. Let's find a safe, quiet place. And we got to just talk this out. And we were in that talk and we both kind of got to the conclusion of like, when you're 75 years old and your grandkids are around and that one of the main pictures that you're still going to have framed in your home that you're going to tell the story about and talk about, that's going to impress people. It's like you're standing there with the president of the United States.
It's crazy.
Like, this is the guy that gave the order to kill bin Laden. You're like, what do you want from me? Like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
This is an unbelievable moment in my life.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right, dude. That guy legit sat in that war room and just oversaw the killing of Osama bin Laden and won 2 elections and like shook Vladimir Putin's hand. And, like that guy is a major world figure. And the comments are the most predictable thing of all time. So I couldn't even really care less about that at this juncture.
I'll mention it. So when I took a picture when I put out the video of me and George W., Frankie's in that video as well. When he took those pictures, I post that everywhere, obviously, because I was like, it's what we're talking about. I met a president. It's unbelievable. And people are like, how was it to meet a war criminal? You take a picture with Obama. You put the picture up. How was like meeting a war criminal? Listen, you meet what that boils down to is you meet a president. They've done some wild shit. That's a position where you do wild ass shit. Like, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
100%. And
like half the people are going to love them. Half the people are going to hate them. That's why they are who they are. And that's why the country is where it's at. Like especially in the year 2024, you're not going to get away with posting a picture of a political figure that was a president and get overall just like good comments. It's impossible. It's quite literally the most impossible thing you can do as of this date on this earth is to try and get all
but
positive.
I know,
reactions.
and it sucks. It's that way, but I want people to know I did it with George W. I did it with
Yeah.
Obama. I would do it with Trump. Like these are presidents you're
Bro,
talking
I
about.
never put up the picture. I was in the fucking Oval Office.
No, bro,
I
you got to
a
put
photo-
those things up.
I have
Yeah.
a photo with Donald Trump. I'm standing next to him at the desk, like the Oval, like in the West Wing at the Oval Office presidential desk. I'm standing by his side, shoulder to shoulder. He's sitting there, and it looks fake. I think they edited it up, like we look like cartoonish. It almost looks, it's ridiculous. And I'm where I have a dumb mustache.
I was gonna say
And
that
it's
might be why
just-
you didn't put it up.
I mean, I have a pretty big wall in my basement. It's almost the length of the wall now. When you go in my basement, it looks like a Trump rally down there. It's nuts. But I mean, you have to. It's like, and then there's a whole story, like you're saying, Riggs. Like there's a whole story behind that.
Yep.
That one photo is a life's worth of stories, like how I started at Barstool, how Dave got on Trump's radar, like all of this stuff. Like I could talk for 30 minutes, and everyone is so captivated. In my picture, there's a bunch of home plates on the desk. And they're like, what's that? It's like Mariano Rivera was there to promote like Sunday Night Baseball. And he was going to have a catch in the Rose Garden with Trump. And they were practicing and they were throwing balls back and forth. And Mariano came up to me in the coffee room and goes, this is crazy, isn't it? I'm like, I know. Mariano was watching Trump get interviewed by Dave, and he's like, can you believe we're in here? And I'm like, you're Mariano. I'm a Yankees diehard. Like, I got your fucking, like, this is crazy to me. So, like, meeting Obama, like, I like had to sit down when I saw that picture, because I'm like, that's a lifetime. My life would have brought me to another president again.
That's right.
So, like, it was jealousy, it was rage. I was sitting there like, I can't believe I'm not meeting a president. It's very hard to not meet it's very hard to meet a president, and I could have been right there. So it's like, that's an amazing moment for you guys. You have to be proud of that. Fuck anyone that says anything negative about meeting a president. It's fucking crazy, dude.
You got to pull yourself out of it just like a little bit and just be like, these are extraordinary people. No matter how you slice it, these are extraordinary people who have risen to an office that almost nobody gets. Literally 0% of the population gets there. And if you get to meet them, regardless of what party you pull for, who gives a fuck? These are people who are, I was saying it to Riggs, like, when we all die, everybody on this podcast for the most part, unless we all do something crazy going forward,
they're going to
forget about us.
Everyone dying.
They're going to forget about us pretty instantly. History's not forgetting about George W. History's not forgetting about Obama. History's not forgetting about Clinton.
Well,
however they talk about him, I don't care. These are historical figures, and I'm going to fucking meet one.
Yeah, and also, like, as a society, regardless of if the majority likes them or dislikes them, we've also acknowledged that they're just the presidents. You know what I mean? Like, they're still able to go to the Solheim Cup and be an iconic figure. Like, regardless of if half the country dislikes his political views or what he did with the country, whatever you might not like about him, they're still, like, as a world, we're still accepting that he is still Barack Obama. You know what I mean? Like, there's still a level of, like, oh, when he shows up to the first tee, everyone's going nuts. Like, all your politics kind of go out the window at that point. He's still a figure that made its way to the most impressive chair in the world. He sat in the most impressive chair in the world, and that's it. That's the only thing you got to worry about when you meet a guy like that. Everything else is all for fucking Thanksgiving.
100%. And I did, like, one comment really stuck with me that was a good one, and it was like, you know, I didn't agree with almost anything that Obama did, and they said, but I cannot tell you how proud I am to see the boys taking off their caps and respecting that man for his service to our country. And I actually started thinking about that, of like, dude, once you become president, or no matter what, there's nothing in the world that says you have to go at it with your all and work 20 hours a day and do everything you possibly can for the troops or for the good of your country or for healthcare, whatever the hell it might be. There's nothing that says that you have to do that. Like, yes, you have a salary and you wanted to get this job, but to some degree, that guy was spot on where he's like, thank you for thank that man for, like, his service to this country. Like, he sat in that office, and by all accounts, and I believe that pretty much every president ever has done this, either side, and, like, gave it his all for this country. And you're like, hell yeah. That's like, fuck yeah. Like, to make as many people's lives better and make the best decisions that he could. And then you're like, and so that comment, I kind of like that. I was just like, hell yeah, that is, like, that's kind of the right way to look at it, I thought.
If you are a person who, upon meeting a figure in politics that high that you disagree with, if you would meet them, not shake their hand and not take a picture, you're an asshole. Like
you're a fucking
if
asshole.
you are fully just like, if I had met him, I would have done such and such. It's like, you're an
No,
asshole,
you
dude.
wouldn't. Also, no, you wouldn't have.
You wouldn't.
know?
Yeah, I know.
There's a couple. It's so funny. I was saying to Riggs too, like just the guys around him, like you can't fuck with them at all. They're just the guys trying to look normal, but they are Navy SEAL. They're like, they're just like, if you make one wrong move, I'm gonna snap your neck.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I mean, it's just it's a hell of a person to meet. It really is, the president. So
it was awesome.
It's fucking cool. Just like show up to the Solheim Cup. We love getting out to live events, whether it's a concert, a football game, or a comedy show, and we always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. This Thursday, Patriots at Jets, Thursday Night Football. You can get into MetLife Stadium for $73 right there on Game Time. And for that, I'm on the Game Time app right now, and I'm looking at the Game Time Picks, which is a brand new feature that it's a huge deal. Basically, they're taking out all the riffraff, all the crazy stuff, all the things that you don't need. It's filtering out all of that stuff, and it's giving you the greatest deals on the greatest seats, so you don't have to spend your time wasting, looking and clicking all the little buttons and all the little dots to make sure. They're going to give you the best one possible. Lincoln Park, they're going to the Barclays Center tonight as I'm recording this thing.
Whoa.
Unbelievable. Lincoln Park is back. They got a female singer in there.
I saw that.
Yeah, filling in for Chester, obviously, rest in peace. They sound amazing. The Mets, you can get in for $4 on Game Time Picks against the Nationals. It's amazing. You know, we love going to live events, so make sure you are going to Game Time. All you got to do is pull up the Game Time app, and you can pull up your chosen event and turn on the GT Picks. That's the Game Time Picks, GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for right now? You got to get to this app. I'm telling you right now. I'm a little like stunned right now that Lincoln Park popped up, because that's the first ever concert I went to, Trent. I went to a Lincoln Park Incubus concert at Jones Beach Amphitheater. It was the very first one, and it was out of control how good it was. That
would still be a banger today.
Oh my God. And you know, Chester was at his peak of just like, it was unbelievable. So I remember I wasn't the biggest Incubus fan going in. I was pretty young. And then I listened to every Incubus album I could possibly listen to going into it. And I became a fan for life. That's what live events does to you. That's what going to concerts, that's what going to live shows, that's what going to Broadway or a sports event, that's what it does to you. It makes memories, and it also builds you for the future. That probably got me into music the way I am today. So all thanks to Game Time and live events. Make sure you download the Game Time app today and use code FORE, F-O-R-E, to easily score great deals with the new Game Time Picks. What time is it? Game time. With the Solheim Cup looked incredible.
It was.
I mean, the vibes were off the charts. It's pretty stunning. Now, this might be, I'm dumb, so I don't really know, and I don't remember. I think I have like some sort of brain deficiency, but has the Solheim Cup always had this type of crazy hype? You know, like, is this something, or is this like off the charts compared to years past?
That's a good question. It felt bigger and like it had more juice. Maybe it was just because we were there. But dude, I actually wrote this in my notes. On Friday, when me and Trent were walking and we joined up with the Nelly Corda group, and she hit this 7-wood or whatever she hit, and made eagle on the 14th hole to close out the match. And it was like an amphitheater. They had to hit over water on this par 5. She hit this wood in there tight, made like the 6 or 8 footer down the hill. And it was a Tiger-esque roar. I mean, USA everywhere. Walking up the fairway, Frankie, there was this huge hospitality tent up the right-hand side. And the entire walk from the tee up until she hit her second shot, which is 270-yard walk, just a nonstop standing applause from the USA crowd. And then they finally kind of let people settle down. And then she throws this dart in there from what must have been 220, 30, 40 yards, and then makes the putt. And it was a legitimate pop roar, like I've heard at Ryder Cups and like I've heard from Tiger at Augusta. And otherwise, that was about as loud as any golf, moment that I can remember. So it had pop, dude. The first tee was awesome. It was bumping. There were plenty of the U.S. players that like kind of Happy Gilmore it. They were like, come on, I can't hear you. They wanted people going nuts while they were teeing off. So it did. It had the juice. There were a ton of people there. I know the buses and everybody was freaking out about that. We don't really need to get into that. I think that's like the big J's thing where they get into bitching about the logistics and all that, and that was clearly a fuck up. But by the time we got there, dude, you're right. It was fucking awesome being there.
Yeah, it looked amazing. It's just, we talked about recently, like, has Nelly kind of like captured that, the rise, sort of like Caitlin Walker has, where it's like you
Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark. Why did I say Caitlin Walker?
She's had a good rise.
Caitlin Walker.
Caitlin Walker
rise.
books our travel.
Oh my god! I almost fell over.
She's great. She's great too.
Amazing.
She is the Caitlin Walker is the Caitlin Clark of booking for sure.
Shit,
absolutely.
That's true. Actually,
we're actually in the thick of it with booking travel right now. We got like Hawaii trips coming in. I'm in the thick of booking travel right now.
100%.
It's really just taken over my life. So Caitlin Walker, love you. Thank you for everything you do. Caitlin Clark, on the other end, has really captured the fans in basketball, unlike Caitlin Walker has. Maybe she will. Who knows? Maybe Caitlin Walker has a basketball future in her future. But Nelly Korda, I don't know if it's between her and Charlie Hull with all the cigarette smoking and everything going viral every time with her. Obviously, a good-looking woman that goes out and plays phenomenal golf. Same with Nelly Korda. They have a lot of juice behind their game right now, and a lot of juice behind like their popularity and their rise. And then now you see these photos of their biggest event of the year, and it's fucking packed like that in these amphitheater type holes where no matter where you look, there's a head with a phone taking a video of it. That was really cool to see. And we had just talked about, like, is the women's game getting any hype? And then you see this next event. It would have sucked for it to be a dud with how many good players there are, with how good, like, all the broadcasting was, like, everything, all eyes were on the Solheim Cup. It was awesome. Like, I was blown away with that reaction from the fans. I really was. And that's cool to see because they deserve it. That is the culmination of everything that Nelly's doing and Charlie Hull is doing, and them doing videos with us. Like, Charlie did a video with us, has done a bunch of videos with us with TaylorMade, and so has Nelly. She played us left-handed. She played us with a fucking 3-wood or whatever she did. Like, that stuff's starting to work. It really is. You could tell that, like, they're buying in and the fans are buying in, because that was insane.
It was very cool to just tune in too. Like, even Saturday afternoon, Sunday all day, I wasn't on site, and I found myself scrolling through, like, I even just walking down the street to go meet some friends for like lunch, and I just had it on my phone. It was like making sure I didn't miss a shot and making sure I didn't miss a match. And you're like, dude, that's not for women's golf. It doesn't get that treatment. Hell, men's golf on PGA Tour and Live, we talk about it all the time, doesn't get that treatment that often. And so it was must watch. I thought it was the theatrics of it were phenomenal the whole time. The golf was incredibly good. Nelly Korda set like a record for all team competitions on, I think, Saturday. She gained like over 7 strokes on the field, and how absolutely dominant she was. And for her to bring it in that sort of environment when she hadn't really brought it up to her standards in Solheim Cups before, and to do it in the U.S., in Virginia, when she's kind of the girl, and people are really looking to her to like be the Caitlin Clark of kind of golf, to bring it in that on that stage was badass. It was fucking awesome. It was great. It was very
And then
fun.
Charlie Hull just took it to her in singles,
Waxed her.
She did.
6-4.
6-4.
Woo.
She took it like a champ. Like, I saw him laughing and smiling after, but that's tough. That's, you're like having the best Solheim Cup. You are the one. You're the one, Nelly. You know that. Everybody knows it. And then you go to singles, and Charlie Hull's like, I'm going to rip a marble of light and just dust you.
Yeah. I saw I think it was Danny on Twitter saying
Danny Rapport?
that, like, yeah.
Whoa.
What?
Nothing. I'm just saying.
Oh, no.
I like him. He's got good tweets.
I haven't unfollowed him yet, but at the end of the day, he I'm going to keep following him.
Of
He's
course.
a great Twitter guy.
I would never unfollow Danny Rapport.
He I think it was him or Dylan DeChair that said
same person,
that, like, when you win, it was Scotty Scheffler beating Rahm at the Ryder Cup. It kind of launched his, like, story arc of, like, oh shit, like, who's this guy? Does he have, I mean, obviously we knew who he was, but, like, does he have that in him? And does Charlie Hull now, does she take the stage as, like, the LPGA girl? Because she's fucking ripping cigs everywhere, walking over to the crowd, bumming, cigs off guys, getting their lighters. And she's built for social media, built for it.
We talked about a few episodes back about this whole thing. Like, why is the Caitlin Clark thing so much bigger than the Nelly Korda thing? And boy, it was them smiling and laughing after Charlie beat Nelly was fine. but it would have been great if there would have been bad blood.
We
And,
needed
and I know
tears.
there's not that. You can't force it. It can only happen naturally, and it's not going to happen between those two. But if you had a Charlie versus Nelly, like now those are the two people going forward,
Needed
that would have
tears.
some juice.
Yeah, if there were tears afterwards and it was like, wait until fucking next time, you're not doing that to me again.
Right.
That would have been nice. But yeah, maybe they're not built like that. Like they're just friends. They're both at the TaylorMade shoots. They're probably best friends throughout the whole entire year. I don't, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to kind of fake that if it's not there.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you need rivalries. You do need bad blood. I think that always helps. And, it's kind of the event. There's plenty of, I think, bad blood overall within the event. It's like the U.S. That was the first time the U.S. has won the thing since 2017, which is a hell of a stretch. I think they're like 10-7-1 all time. So they have the lead, but hadn't won it in a long time. And last year they had completely blown it. They had a good lead and they ended up tying, which Europe retained it. So there was like a lot of pressure to get it done on home soil. They did. Just a lot of badasses stepping up in big moments. It was great. It was absolutely great. It was very cool being there. I said to Trent while we were walking around, I was like, dude, this would be a great buddies like long weekend event. If you got 4 or 5 buddies together and you went to like the Solheim Cup for Friday and Saturday and like played golf Sunday or something, that would be a killer weekend because just being there, having a couple drinks, rolling around, everybody's dressed as USA. I believe we saw Lady Liberty was accompanied by George Washington. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Trent?
I never put that picture up. I took a picture of him and everything. But yeah, Lady Liberty and George Washington were hanging out. They were a couple, power couple.
Yeah, they were a couple.
Dude, I saw a fucking hilarious tweet today. It was like some girl someone at a airport bar, and she's like, I'm sitting next to an Abraham Lincoln impersonator at the airport bar, and he's watching the attempted the news coverage of the attempted assassination on Trump. She's like, this is fucking nuts. And the picture was like, this guy looked just like Abe Lincoln, just chilling, drinking like a Labatt Blue or something. He was just sitting there watching the screen with his hat off, but he had like, dude, the fucking side profile looked exactly like him. It was so funny. Imagine that being your job. You just walk around doing just Abraham Lincoln impersonations at parties and shit. So good.
Oh, yeah, whoa!
So good, dude. Look at that.
That guy stepped right out of a time machine.
This is easily the most surreal thing I've ever witnessed. Look at him. He's got his phone charging.
So he's a legit Abe Lincoln impersonator.
Oh, yeah. Yep. There's nothing fake.
I thought she was just saying that to be funny. Like, this guy is probably an Abe Lincoln impersonator. That's an Abe Lincoln impersonator.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He saw his face. He's like, you know what? I know what I'm doing with this.
The first reply looks like he's having flashbacks. That's a funny joke.
That's amazing.
That's
good
so
work.
Good. Yeah, that would be a great trip. Speaking of trips, I'm going to the Ozarks soon. I'm gearing up for that. Real nice. Like just like setting up a trip is a lot of work. I don't know how many people that are listening to this like are that designated guy. I know Riggs, you are for your crew. It's kind of the sword is I've fallen on the sword as the golf guy in my group. Of course, it's my job now. So setting up the location, setting up, all the little gift bags that I got for these guys. It's been great. It's honestly been really, really fun to do your own kind of tournament, but it's getting there. It's right around the corner. At this point, I'm saying the one-liners like, it's all that's left is the weather. It's the only thing we can't control. Like you're just kind of knocking on everything of wood that you can find. We're going to the Big Ozarks. We're going to Big Cedar Lodge in the Ozarks, flying into Springfield. I do need to find a nice Sunday spot right when we all land to like watch football and like eat for a group of 16 in Springfield, Missouri. So if anyone's got any suggestions on that, I know there's a lot of options, but there's like a brewery, there's a Springfield brewery I've been trying to call and get in, but it's like, there's a lot. It seems like a great little town.
It is.
When we've gone, yeah, it's Missouri State, right? Which is a bigger school than I anticipated. Like I looked it up the other day. It's huge, like Division I, everything.
Yep. Missouri State's big. A bunch of my buddies and friends went to Missouri State, but I didn't really spend much time in Springfield. So I'm trying to think if I know of any go-to spots. I will after this podcast goes out. I will get a bunch of texts from my buddies. I'm sure, Frankie, that'll be like,
yeah, that's what I was kind of hoping for. Yeah. I need a football spot and then I need a dinner spot. 16 people is a lot. It's a lot of people to roll into a restaurant with. Like that's not easy. So I'm just like, I'm kind of just tightening up everything with the itinerary, but I'm very, very excited. Big Cedar looks unbelievable. They keep posting just like golf course porn. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can't wait to get there and just hit golf balls. It's like, you fall in love with golf again with how much we play. Like you just can't wait to go on a trip because like I have never done this with my buddies yet. I got my dad going, I got my father-in-law going, I got cousins. It's like it's
Don's
a real
going?
big. Don's going.
Let's
it's gonna
go.
be pure chaos. Apparently, like they've got like I've got a blue team and a white team. Don's on the other team than me, and like they've got their own separate chat. Team White is like they've got crazy camaraderie. They got Big Rob, Don, like they've got crazy camaraderie on Team White. Team Blue, we got to start to like kind of rev it up a little bit, but White they got Don like gifts for like captaincy and shit. Like they're gonna present him with gifts on like the first day. So
I love it.
I'm very excited. TD, Tutty, taking it to the house, in for 6, whatever you call a touchdown, one thing is for sure. Touchdowns matter more at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. On the ground, in the air, for special teams or defense, we do not care how they score them. We want to bet on touchdowns, and DraftKings Sportsbook is the number one place to bet touchdowns. We're all in on this Survivor. They're calling it the Stoolvivor DraftKings anytime touchdown Survivor League here at Barstool. I'm 2 for 2. I'm moving on to week 3. Brees Hall, an amazing touchdown. Needed to get in. And then tonight, as you're listening to this, it's already happened, but this is Monday Night Football as I'm recording this. I got Jahan Dotson in the end zone. Plus 310. I've got him for an anytime TD score. There's nothing better than betting an anytime TD score.
It's so
you got so much action, Trent. I know that you're not in. You lost in the anytime survivor pool, but you could still. The best thing about the DraftKings Sportsbook app is that you can still be in every single game, every single week, no matter what.
I actually also had Brees Hall the other night for an anytime touchdown score, so I won that one. But I am out of the end zone crown, unfortunately. Josh Allen, I know Alex Bush is a big Bills fan. He actually knocked me out of that thing, but. Like you said, on DraftKings, you can still bet on any touchdown score, first touchdown score. It's so much fun, especially if you do it with a bunch of your buddies. You're like, here's who we're taking for first touchdown. If you hit that, the group chat goes crazy. So get in on
crazy. And then we've got Nate, Barstool Nate. He won a free bet in our local challenge that we have at the office. So he had a $1,000 free bet that he's placing tonight, Monday Night Football, on the Eagles defense to score a touchdown. Plus 400, I believe it was. So he's looking to move that $1,000 bet to a $4,000 payout. Shout out to that's a pretty ballsy pick from our guy Nate Dogg, but you could totally see Kirk Cousins throwing a pick 6 against the Eagles tonight. So I'm rooting for him, and make sure that you get in on the action, and make sure you use code FORE, F-O-R-E. That's code FORE for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. And with that, you're going to get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Last thing I don't want to forget. Do you guys ever call a deli sandwich a wedge? Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Have you ever heard of it being called a wedge? Have you, Riggs?
I don't call it that, but I've seen it listed on a board as a wedge.
I like how you started that as a stand-up comedian. I've seen this. You guys seen this?
Yeah, you guys seen this?
They're calling these sandwiches wedges in delis.
Crazy. There was a whole debate today in one of my group chats of a wedge, a hoagie, a sub, a hero. I mean, we're heroes here in New York.
You know what I was just going to say I've been pretty high on lately are heroes with the little they got like almost lamb. Like I feel like they kind of put in there and that like.
I mean, like I order like a chicken parm hero when I go to like a little like Italian takeout spot. What would you call it, Trent?
A sandwich?
I think a hero is almost to me like a special with like pita bread almost. And they do it, you know what I'm saying? With like they do it real Greek, full Greek.
No, I think that's Euro is what you're calling that.
Oh, really?
You're calling that a Euro, a gyro, like a GYRO.
Gyro's how it's spelled.
But they call it the asshole, not assholes, but like the Greek equivalent of me, that would be like, mozzarella. They'll be like, it's actually a Euro. But I mean, I call it a gyro, just like someone would say mozzarella.
I never knew how to say it. In fact, every time I order it, I get real quiet. And I go, I'll take a hero there. It's like you just kind of like mutter your way through it.
It's one of those things where it's like you got to go all in on it. And when you say it, you feel like an asshole. Because you're like, am I allowed to say it like that? Or should I just say it like the dumb American I am? Like, can I please have a gyro? You know what I mean? If you say, can I have a Euro? They're like, all right, what's going on here? Frankie Borelli's going to order a Euro? No chance. I
do feel very embarrassed every time I order it. I don't even ever say it the same way every time. I change it.
No.
Yeah, but I've been on a big kick. But wedge, I don't think that's very common. But
Alex
I
Bush, what do they say up in the sticks in Rochester, New York?
Just a sub
Sub.
sandwich. Yeah,
Sub.
I've never.
Yeah, that's probably
Meatball
pretty similar
sub.
to the Midwest too.
Yeah,
A sub sandwich. Definitely
Yeah.
not wedge. That's a salad.
Wedge is nuts. Wedge really took me for a loop today. Kind of made me take a walk around the house.
Did some of your boys? They were wedge guys.
Yeah, there was a guy that was in there. It was a wedge guy, and we're like, "Who are you? Like, how have you been like hiding, undercover this whole time,
Right.
saying wedge in Long Island? It's nuts." So that's something that just needs to be rectified. But yeah, I'm excited. That's really all I got on my trip and my friend's part.
Mr. Woods had surgery. He released a statement a couple days ago. He had another surgery. I'm not a doctor. I don't think this surgery appeared too major, right? It's like kind of go in there, clean some stuff up, alleviate a little bit of back issues and spasms, and then he can resume normal life activity, including golf, is what he said.
Why do they even put these out anymore? They're just doing. Don't tell anybody.
Just to end speculation for like why he won't play, maybe in like the Hero and other things that are coming up, right? Like
I
you
feel like
just
he's
want to
gonna.
let
If he's
people
gonna,
know.
that's true. If he's gonna play, don't tell anybody. I don't want to. This happened amidst meeting Obama. We got back to the air conditioned room in a chair, and we're in the war room. We're like, how do we put this out in the right way? And boom, an alert on my phone is just a screenshot of the caption. I'm like, great. Now I got to open my phone and figure out what this is. And it was a microcompression surgery. But if it's a good point, but if he's gonna end up playing everything, I just don't even tell me about it.
I assume that this means he won't be playing everything, and it's like, let's just let people know that this is what I'm dealing with. It's also just this guy can't give up golf. It's unbelievable. Like at this point, he's just still trying. He's still going under the knife. I don't know how many surgeries this is at this point. I do know that we had, I don't know if it was the closest to the pin or it was a from the gallery, but it was like how many of those Tiger Woods posts are we going to see, right, for the rest of his career? Didn't we have that at one point? And we all kind of made guesses of like how many do we think there are left of these, and we said like if we get to 5 it means his career is over, because that's so many so many like messages and announcements that like it's done. I think we're at like 2 or 3 at this point.
It's not
since that last.
They're like the blue background ones, right?
Well, he changed the font. He changed the
This
the
one
pattern
seemed
this
a
time.
little different. Yeah, was there some red in it? I think.
Yeah.
It was white with the red. I'm looking at it right now, the red 3 like TJR logo thing.
That's a new template. That's a new template they're using.
Is that a this isn't as serious template, right? Like
it's the first one of its kind, so it could be super serious, but
Right. We might just be entering a new era of template for this. It might not have any effect on if it's more serious or not, but
so you're
I don't
saying
know.
the template isn't determined by the seriousness of
We're gonna find out.
all we know is that it's not on the same template as him talking about flying off a cliff and almost dying. So that could be taken either way, right? It's either like this could be super just like, hey, I'm just letting you know this. This isn't this. What I didn't even have.
That's how I took it. I took it as, hey, this
no
is
effort
not blue
to find
background.
the old template.
That's right. That's exactly right. Reserve the old template for
Robbie
hey,
Mack's
I drove off
scrolling.
a
He's like,
cliff.
I can't even find this template.
No.
So I don't know what you want
No.
of me.
No.
So we're fine then. I think we're fine on that.
I mean,
front.
the back surgeries, you never know. I'm in the midst of a back surgery thing right now with my goalie Ilya Sorokin with the Islanders. Like Lou Lamoriello said, so like it's unbelievable. He's very much like the Tiger camp, where it's like he's saying things that like the world just knows like aren't true. Like there was reports that Ilya Sorokin was like fighting off a back issue, right? And then like everyone said, I said on Spit and Chicklets, Elliot Friedman said in his podcast, and Lou Lamoriello at camp the other day was like, I know nothing of this injury, so these rumors are just untrue. And then today their coach Patrick Waugh was like, oh yeah, he just had surgery like a couple months. He had back surgery. So like I can't believe what that conversation was probably like between Lou and Patrick, where he's like, we don't talk about that shit. I don't know what page you're on, because Patrick Waugh was like, yeah, he had surgery. We're just gonna like get through it. He's gonna recover. He seems like he's all right. So yeah, There's a lot of different back surgeries you can get, man. Like alleviate nerve damage, decompress your spine. I mean, I don't think he's getting a fucking new plates in there. I don't think he's getting new vertebrae. I think it's just, he's putting a lot of pressure on that thing with all this new walking, new shoes. It's a nightmare. It's
Also,
a fucking nightmare.
I saw it. It was a concern. Like one of these is eventually going to be, I'm retiring from the game of golf. Like,
Yeah.
my body just can't do it anymore. So I'm obviously glad that it wasn't that. But if it's another surgery, this is my 8th, 9th, 10th time through this. Like, what do you want? That's not going to affect me one bit. I think we're going to be fine. It's not like he's playing great. So it's not like he won the Masters and now he's getting the surgery. He's been playing like shit. So now he's getting another surgery, and we'll see if it works.
Yeah, it didn't even become the most important golf thing of that hour for myself and Trent. It was,
That's
was like, so I think that kind of tells you. So he'll be fine. I think he's going to play some stuff this fall still, like the not real stuff, but like the Hero and maybe the PNC. I think he's still going to do that. I don't know that he would do a surgery where he would miss the PNC. I think he lives for the PNC now.
That is what he works up to. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. PNC's everything. It's his major now, which is unfortunate, but
it is his major. Speaking of weather, you mentioned weather earlier, Frankie. Today is a top 2 worst weather day in the history of the Barstool Classic.
Yeah, it didn't look
Saw
good.
that, man.
Unfortunate.
We may have jinxed you because we just were talking about this recently at the last Barstool Classic. Trent and I were talking with someone. They're like, how many of these things get like rained out or just kind of ruined through rain? And I said, out of however many years, what is this, year 5, year 6? Like, this year 6, like, not that many have been affected by rain, even in the slightest. Maybe like 5 at the most.
Yeah, I was counting. I think today was around the 125th ever Barstool Classic stop that we've done. And I think we've had 2 in history that we had to reschedule, which we just did it like the day or a couple days before, rescheduled. We had 1 big rain delay at Hazeltine that was like 4 or 5 hours long. And then, unfortunately, 2 years ago in Pinehurst at Southern Pines was the worst weather day we've ever had at the Barstool Classic. It was like 45 degrees and pouring rain the whole day, but there was no lightning. And the golf course was like, we're staying open. So we were like, we're hosting the event. We're here. Everything's here. And I'll say 9 out of 10 people that day embraced the hell out of it and were awesome. A couple people were a little rattled, which is totally understandable. I think we ended up giving all of those people early entry into next year's Barstool Classic, like a 24-hour window, so they could pick whatever stop they wanted to go to. Today was not nearly as cold. It was definitely chilly for those folks because they were soaking wet, and it got colder throughout the day. But I'm telling you, I just got an alert on my phone for severe flash flood warning, an emergency alert for how bad the weather is right here. And I mean, it started a little bit rainy, and it just poured the entire day. And there's just nothing you can do about it. And luckily, the golf courses down here, Sand Hills in North Carolina, drain at least as well as anywhere else possibly can. And there really wasn't standing water until later in the day. And then around the time that guys played probably their 16th, 17th, 18th holes of the day, like there were legitimately some greens with like standing water on the green while people were playing. And it's tough because the golf course, they never, credit to them, there was a huge roar this morning during the opening announcements. I handed the mic to Ryan from the golf club, and he goes, and with the current weather, the cart path situation today will be carts are off the path, and people went crazy. He he delivered it in a great way, and they stayed off the path the entire day. But boy, I did feel bad. And I kind of during the closing thing, I gave a very heartfelt thank you to, because everybody had a great attitude. Dude, we had Youngstown Bob was playing today, and his group came down 18 shirtless. They played 18 tarps off, and then they did the putting contest tarps off,
ready to eat,
just ready to eat some,
ready to eat,
ready to eat.
Yeah,
shitty break for people, but they all handled it great. Everybody had a really good attitude. They were still fun. They were listening to music, kind of out there ripping it up, embracing it, and having the best that they could. But those people got screwed. We're definitely going to do something nice for all the people that played today, because I'm not kidding you. It was pouring rain the whole day. It currently is pouring rain. I'm looking at it right now.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
It's an outdoor sport. We've honestly been lucky for how well it's gone. We go all around the country. You could see some wild weather with all the different locations that we end up, especially during the summer, those hot thunderstormy days in the heat of the summer. We haven't gotten any of them, knock on wood. So sorry to North Carolina that's gotten a couple bad beats there, but all in all, pretty amazing how good the weather has been for the Barstool Classic. on a grand scale.
I feel
Absolutely
I also feel
amazing.
I feel like the tour gets pretty lucky too, and the majors. Like I remember they shortened up Pebble a couple years ago. Not a major, but it was a tournament out there. Like I think golf for whatever reason gets pretty lucky. Like NASCAR does not get lucky. Every week with NASCAR, the rain follows them. It's really something to watch. But with golf,
when they're on those slicks, like even a drop has to cancel the race. So that's what sucks. At least in golf, like you could play.
But golf is 4. You got to get lucky 4 days.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
True. That makes me think that they have an easier chance of getting it in though, because like it's really, really rare for rain to fall for like 4 or 5 straight days. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
true. They can kind of finagle it this day, that
and they
day,
do a lot. Like they end up
they move up
a
tee
lot
times.
Of that.
Yeah.
Well, I got to show you guys this video of Bob in the putting contest. Just
pussy.
a few minutes ago.
Oh my
Look
God.
at that green. Look at Bob.
Soaked. Dude.
Look how far his putt went.
Yeah, it went 2 inches. He's so pissed. Yeah.
What a character.
What a day.
He was great. So people got screwed, but they handled it great. So a big thank you to all the people that played today because they had a good time. Nobody really bitched, and it would have been easy to be like, I'm looking online every Monday, and it's 75 and sunny, and everybody's paying the same thing that I'm paying, and here I am out in the rain. So they got kind of fucked. That was a bummer, but everybody had a good time.
Have you ever felt a sense of unease when you leave your home, wondering if everything will be safe while you're away? Well, I know I have. We're on the road a ton. I mean, we're never home. And for me, Simply Safe keeps me feeling secure, and it makes me feel safe simply. When I'm not there, I've got my wife here. I've got a bunch of family. They're always stopping by the house, checking in on it. And I'm able to see like how everything is going when I'm on the road. I've got it on my phone. We've got all of these wireless, battery powered, cameras on the front and the back by the garage everywhere. And it's amazing. It's seamless. The second anyone or anything walks by, even if it's a little critter walking by, it detects it and it sends it right to your phone. It's been amazing for me. Simply Safe. I've had it for 3 years now. I would recommend it to every single person I talk to. I'm telling you right now, it's amazing. And with Fast Protect monitoring and live guard protection, Simply Safe agents can act within 5 seconds of receiving your alarm and can even see and speak to intruders to stop them in their tracks. You'll never be locked into a long-term contract at Simply Safe, so you can cancel anytime. Pricing is transparent and affordable at less than $1 a day with no hidden fees ever. Simply Safe has been named Best Home Security Systems by the U.S. News and World Report for 5 years running and offers the best customer service in home security according to Newsweek. It's easy to install and activate your Simply Safe system in less than an hour. Trust me, I did it all on my own. Or you could choose a professional installation to have a pro do it for you, but I'm telling you, it's so easy and simple. Protect your home with 50% off a new Simply Safe system, plus a free indoor security camera when you sign up for Fast Protect monitoring. Just visit simplysafe.com/foreplay. That's FOREPLAY. That's simplysafe.com/foreplay. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Shout out to John Rahm. John Rahm won the Live Golf Individual Championship, $18 million bonus.
Yeah, nice.
Which is nice. Which is
I would
really
retire.
nice.
If I won one $18 million tournament, I would retire. You know what I mean? I'm done.
I had the same thought. That is a number I don't need. That's it. That's over. It. I could just do
but like you're saying that as a person that can't win golf tournaments.
I know what I'm saying.
But like if you won that, you're just like, if I play one more year, I'll probably win 2 or 3 more.
No,
I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing golf.
I'm not saying John Rahm should stop. I'm really alluding to how much of a significant amount of money that is.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Scotty
if I won
more.
one of those, John Rahm can win 10 of these. I'm just saying, if I won one in my current position, I'd be like, no one's ever going to see me again.
Yeah, I agree. For sure. If someone dropped $18 million on the front of my fucking doorstep, I'm leaving. My family's not seeing it. Nobody's seeing
this phone that I have. I just leave it right here and I walk out that door.
I'm gonna be like, remember today? I was like, I want hibachi tonight. She said, we're not having hibachi. Well, $18 million just got on my doorstep. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? Like, as I'm leaving, you should have got hibachi. We're fucking gone, dude. Down the block.
That's really what it is, because people always talk about like, what's your number if you If it dropped off on your doorstep, like what would it be?
Oh my
2 million?
God.
No, I mean I'm still gonna have to do stuff. 3 million, probably gonna have to see. I'll have to do 18 million. You're
$20
gone.
million. I'm done.
See you later. See you later.
What'd you say?
Kidding me?
$20 million. $20 million in cash that's already taxed off. Like,
Gone.
if it's in my account and I got 20 schmil, I'm done.
I love you guys.
With the right investing, you're living for your whole family's set.
Not even the right investing with like 2 brain cells of investing. You can do whatever you want.
If $20 million, you would never see a Riggs Barstool account post another thing on social media in history.
So there you go. One of those someone wants to buy Riggs
phones. Out. I would get one of those simple phones, dude, where you just text and call. And that thing, it would just be, that's it. You would never see or hear from me publicly.
That's the ultimate troll. That's the ultimate troll. It's like, Riggs, I can't watch you swing anymore. I can't watch these daily nines. I'm going to write you a check for $20 million and give me your accounts. You're done. And you're like,
offers on the
buying
table.
Buying them off the fucking table. Internet. Hey, for me too. If someone doesn't want us around anymore, just fucking buy us out. Simple as that. I am open for business.
20 mil. Ooh.
It just goes to show you, though, just like how good fucking professional sports are at right now. Like it's unbelievable. Just how some of them are just so far ahead of, like Sidney Crosby today signed an $8.7 million contract extension. Like John Rahm played good golf for 3 rounds and fucking went out there and won $18 million.
But it's all, we're also in a place where that's not representative of the popularity of the sport.
I know.
That's what's been the weird thing the last 2 years. But we don't have to get into it. But that is like, if you're a golfer, if you're good at golf, if you're at the top of golf right now, whether you're Scotty or Rahm, whichever league, it's a good time to be a professional golfer.
How amazing is it? I just brought up Sidney Crosby. No matter every contract this guy signed, $8.7 million because he loves the number 87.
Could he have gotten more?
At this point, he's towards the end of his career. He's still producing at MVP caliber level. I mean, Sidney Crosby definitely could have gotten more for sure from any other team.
Ask for $87.6 million, Sidney.
Right. I think he did do that in his last contract.
Okay.
So it's like, everything's 8.7 for 10 years, whatever it is. I would love to know if someone did the math on how much money they think he's left on the table because he loves the number 87 so much. It's got to be 10 to $15 million.
What?
Oh, dude, over like his long deals, like he could have signed a $13 million deal, $14 million deal. He's the best player in the world.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'd love to see someone, maybe I'm off, but I think it's pretty high. I think it's pretty fucking high. He's always signed team-friendly deals.
That's nice. I thought you were saying he won't sign deals bigger than X number because he loves this number so much.
I think if they offered him 9 or 8.7, he's taking 8.7.
That's dumb. And he's got the wrong people in his corner who are being like,
silly goose. Be a real silly goose.
I like it. I think it's incredible. It's like a cool little wrinkle to his career.
I like that he's a career Penguin guy. Like I enjoy that when a guy just sticks with their team forever.
You need career guys out there. It's, I put myself in these guys' shoes. The more that I meet these guys too, right? I'm good friends with a lot of these guys now. It's a job. They also have families. They have a lot to look for. I've grown. I still fucking hate him. I think what he did to the New York Islanders is disgusting. He's a snake and he's a rat. But John Tavares, like, as I've gotten older, you realize there is a lot more that goes into it. His family wants his kids to grow up in the same, place that he grew up in, whatever it might be. He's closer to his family, his parents, his wife's parents, the whole deal. It's fucking disgusting, but it is what it is. You can definitely get traded at the trade deadline. You don't have to tell the team you're going to stick around, then you fleece them and they don't get a first round pick for 5 years. But at the end of the day, I see what goes into it all, and it's a business. But if I was in their shoes, I'd like want to kind of see different places, right? I'm sure Sidney Crosby in the back of his mind's like, it'd be cool to like see how another organization runs. I don't know. Like, wouldn't you want to see like how the other locker rooms are and how the coaches are and the GMs? It's just like, you only have one life to live. Why not try different shit? But then we idolize these guys that stick in one spot. So it's like, it's also cool to be that guy. It's got to be this chicken and the egg thing,
Yeah.
Isn't there a good chance he gets shuffled around at the end of his career when he's not as good? Like you are the guy who makes the decisions when you're good enough. You can do whatever you want. But once you start to be on the other side of the hill, they're just like, Sid, we love you, but we want to trade you for this guy to put our team in a better position.
It's like what Patrick Kane's kind of doing, but I do think that they hold loyalty to a guy like Sidney Crosby if he wants it. Like I think I think they're like, you clearly have taken discounts at times, whether it was to make 8.7 instead of 9 million or whatever it might be, so that you can hit your number. And you've won us a bunch of Stanley Cups, and you're our guy. So we're gonna work with you to make sure you finish your career in Pittsburgh. I think they would do that. I think the Penguins would do that.
I don't. How would you guys go about being the athlete in this position? Maybe you're not Sidney Crosby, where you're already going to get idolized because of all the cups you've won, and you're one of the greatest players of all time. But like, if you're a guy that's been on a team for a long time and you still haven't achieved, like, you know, you haven't won a Stanley Cup, whatever it is, you've been there forever, and maybe you want to go experience other things, whatever it might be. Like, would you rather like stick it out with that one team, try and get like your name could possibly be in the rafters one day? Like, you have all these things like still at your reach, but then if you go to another team, you're just a guy that played for one team for 8 years. Or would you try and be the long-standing New York Islander or St. Louis Blue for 15 years? Like, what's cooler to you guys? Getting more jerseys in your basement or being that one guy?
I think it would be so sick to be the one guy, but I think the one caveat would be like what Ray Bourque did. Like when Ray Bourque went from the Bruins forever, they had, you know, late in his career, they weren't looking like they were going to be a Stanley Cup winning team. He went to the Colorado Avalanche and they won the Stanley Cup. I think it would be hard not to do that if you're in that position. Now, if you've won your cup, you know, then I think I would be the kind of guy that'd be like, yeah, I want to be a St. Louis Blue forever. I think that's so sick. The only photos of me ever playing professional hockey, I'm in the same uniform for the same city, and they're always going to remember me as that. But boy, I think you start to get later in your career and you have one of these opportunities. Like I was just thinking, I know Crosby's won cups, so it's not the same thing, but like he must be tempted to be like, dude, what if the Florida Panthers, he could go down to like live in like South Beach and play for a Stanley Cup contending team for the next couple years? Like that's got to be very appealing to somebody like him.
I think the guys who ring chase in the right way get celebrated by the league. Like when Garnett jumped to the Celtics and they were like, and then they finally won that, it was like Kevin Garnett deserves a ring. Where the position he was in, the situation he was in for years in Minnesota, they just weren't going to win a ring. So then you go to a team like the Celtics, and it's almost like the sport wins by giving one of the greats an opportunity to win a ring.
That happens each year in the NHL. It feels like there's always a veteran that like got his ring finally, and he's like one of the first guys to lift up the cup.
Yeah.
It's always a great moment. Yeah, that's true. Like, I mean, a Kyle Okposo, a guy who played for the Islanders in Buffalo and like grinded his way through the NHL for years and years, maybe 15 years of playing for teams, goes to Florida. He's a role player in and out of the lineup, gets in, and during the Stanley Cup has to play this big locker room captaincy type of role, wins the cup. He's holding up the fucking cup. Like, that is cool, man. Like it is. But then I honor those guys that just stick with it. Like your career just didn't call for a Stanley Cup. You stuck with your guys. You only wore one jersey. Like I don't know. I don't know where I would fall. I really don't.
I would ring chase.
Getting a ring and getting your name on that Stanley Cup or whatever trophy is.
That's also, it's like you gave up.
Worth
There's
it.
a part of you that's like, you know, each year. It's not like when you left, like they had no chance to win. You know,
But some of those situations are that way.
Yeah, some of them are.
John Tavares gave up. He gave up. They made the playoffs the next year. Like that next year, they went on with like he gave up. Like he should have stuck around. He would have won the cup.
Like
won 2 cups.
LeBron gave up.
Gave up. He gave up.
Yeah.
He's a
and
best
like
player
you lose
in
a
the
lot of
league.
respect for him. Like Dave Portnoy, who's the leader of one of the biggest sports media brands of all time, like hates LeBron because of what he did. Like he fucking despises him. Like he doesn't respect anything about him because of that move. Like that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like
but that's different. I'm talking about a guy who isn't at his peak powers anymore. He's still good, but they haven't been able to get it done for whatever reason, the organization, and he's not the reason they're going to win or lose a title. Yeah. That's what I'm like. LeBron, he can win a title. That 2007 Cavs team, they didn't win the title, but he drug an incredibly bad basketball team to the finals. He could do that again. He was still in a position. He was still in his prime to do it. He still was like, I'm going to go to Miami, play with Bosh and Wade, and we're going to win 2 titles. But that's different. But if you're a guy who's like getting older, you don't have the skills, you're just kind of hanging on, go get yourself a ring. I don't think people hold that against you.
Let's get a contract in front of number 29 Brock Nelson here. You know what I mean? He's coming up on a contract. Let's get a long-standing contract, maybe 15 years for number 29 Brock Nelson. You know, let's just do that. Let's make him an Islander for life, Lou. I don't know why we're going into a year with no contract yet. crazy.
He's entering his final year.
Yeah, it's just like, for me, just as a diehard fan of the New York Islanders, I need that guy locked up for a long time. 30 goal scorer every single year. I need him locked up today. I need him locked up yesterday.
Nothing
what are we
to do
doing
with your personal relationship with him?
No, I don't talk about shit like that. Like, I get too nervous to talk about stuff like that.
No, I'm not saying you would talk to him about it, but I'm saying your motivation to get him signed is
he's an all-around, arguably our best player.
All right.
Face-offs, killing penalties, power play goals, leads the team in every single category.
Let me pitch this to you.
Okay.
The Trump hands, I don't know why.
All
right, final year of his contract, and I love Brock Nelson. I'm not even an NHL fan. I'm not an Islanders fan.
You're a jersey owner of Brock Nelson.
I have a Brock Nelson jersey in my closet. Isn't he more valuable at the trade deadline if you got 1 year? Okay.
No. I'm
just saying.
You lose a Brock Nelson, you're giving up.
Okay. But
you don't sign Matt Barzal and Bo Horvat to 8-year contracts. You don't go out and get all these guys, Ilya Sorokin, to an 8-year contract. You don't do that and then give up the guy that's scoring 35 goals a year. You know what I mean? Like you're building, you're saying we have 3 or 4 more years at this thing. Let's fucking go at it. Cause whatever, this is turning into an Islanders podcast, but you have to go all in with what you've got. You got to go all in what you got. It's hockey season. Guys are returning to camp.
It's hockey season and golf is kind of, it's the season's over.
They're reporting to camp. It's getting to that time. It's, I'm very excited. I am very excited for this, for what's to come here. I really am. This episode is presented by Kraken, one of the longest standing and most secure crypto platforms in the world. Kraken is your guide to financial freedom, offering safe and simple access to crypto for all. Trusted by over 13 million individuals, traders, and institutions around the world, Kraken offers professional 24/7, 365 client support, along with one of the fastest, most performant trading platforms available. Kraken leads with transparency and trust, securing client funds, NFTs, and privacy through top-notch security. This is not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss and is offered to U.S. customers, excluding Washington, New York, and Maine, through Payward Interactive Inc. View legal disclosures at kraken.com/legal/disclosures. Go to kraken.com/barstool and see what crypto can be. That's kraken.com/barstool and see what crypto can be. You know what I got a problem with? I live by a fucking kind of a main road. I'm not going to say the road, but down the road from me is a main road that's on Long Island, right? And then off that road, there's a service road and then a little community that we live in here. And I've been fighting, this is something that I've been dealing with. I've been fighting that if you go down, we live in a village, nice village, right? You pay a village tax. It's like an extra reason to live in here. It's like a nice,
good village. Village is nice.
The trees are all nice.
What are village perks?
They come and get your garbage from basically the backyard. You don't have to put anything on the street. There's no parking on the streets. Everything's got to be in driveway. So you walk down, you ride your bike down the streets. Everything's beautiful. Everything's nice and trimmed up. All the trees are overhanging.
They probably don't allow McDonald's and stuff like that to be in the village, right?
There's none of that stuff. Yeah, you can't have certain construction companies working there. Everything's got to be licensed. Everything's got to be prim and proper, right? And to the end of our street is the entrance towards it's like a service road or whatever, and you can see this pretty busy road and you can hear the road traffic. At this point I've gotten used to it and I've just resorted to the fact that that's just what happens. You could hear some road traffic. Anyway, if you go down any of the other blocks behind my house, whatever, the block that goes adjacent this way and adjacent that way, and you look down their block in the same position as my house but on a block behind me, there's all these beautiful trees and all this amazing I wanted to call it foliage, but it's like nature, whatever you want to call it, right? Greenery is blocking their view of this pretty main road, right? And I've always said, why is our one little space looking at this road, it's completely empty? And there was always a couple of little trees, but you could see these cars whizzing by, and it always drove me nuts. Why is the block to the right of us have this beautiful, they look down and you don't even know that there's a road back there. It's beautiful. There's flowers, azaleas sometimes, right? It's unbelievable. So finally nature started growing and this year, like this spring, you almost couldn't see you couldn't see the cars. I'm like, I'd drive down my block, I'd pull in a bit. This is so nice and relaxing. I'm driving down, all you see is just greenery at the end, all the greenery on the street. So 2 days ago, I'm noticing there's a lot of construction cones going on the road that's adjacent to us. I'm like, oh, what's happening here, right? They knocked down every fucking tree up until where our block ends. Like, I'm talking through our block, like, of the view. And then the other blocks, they didn't touch them again. So now I'm like, someone's fucking with me. I'm talking, they knocked these trees down to the studs. And it's as clean as it's ever been in 50 years on this little service road part, right? And I'm like, what's happening? So now the other night we're driving down and the construction company, they're putting in all these poles. So I said, oh my God, they might be putting like a little wall in. Like, this is my dream. Like, they might be putting a wall to block all of this stuff now. Like, this is it. It's happening. I'm calling people.
Anybody, by the way, anybody can clip that last 10 seconds. That'd be great.
They're finally building the wall, right?
Block out all this stuff.
Yeah.
Build that
They're
wall.
finally doing it.
Build that wall. Build that wall.
And turns out the wall's going to stop right where our view is. It's
Why?
Like, I don't know. I don't understand. So I need to talk to someone. This is my cry for help. If you work in like because you know what it is? It's not village owned, it's state owned. This is just something I've been dealing with. I know we're at an hour and 12 minutes into this podcast. So if I've lost you a long time ago. If I got to get in contact, I DM'd a New York State like transportation services account today I sent them like a file number that I found for like this specific contract. I need trees built. I need trees put in at the end of my street. I'll pay for it. I need trees put in at the end of my street. I will pay for it. I will gladly put the money in to make that look nice. I think if I was able to decorate that, that's as much value into my day as me putting a tree in my backyard or my front. You know what I'm saying? Like, I will do that if they let me. Just let me take control of that little square footage of area.
Hit up the guy who is making an appearance in the next Breaking 85. That guy is
no,
guy.
I'm in Suffolk County. That's a Nassau County guy.
Oh, shit.
But maybe he's got a nice connect for me. That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Hit him up and be like, I need trees.
I don't know. We got a nice platform here, and this is something I've been dealing with for 3 hours. I need someone, 3 years. I need someone to fucking call me and be like, I can help you with this. You know, I'm a New York State highway guy. I know how to deal with this shit. That's who I need to talk to me. All right.
I feel like a lot of your no free ads call outs are about trees. Weren't you trying to get a tree removed from your front lawn like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And you were like, I need a tree guy.
Dude, it's amazing when you own a house how much shit you got to deal with trees. It's unbelievable. We just took a tree out like 2 weeks ago. Expensive fucking things.
They are.
$1,500 for a tree to get taken out. Can you believe that?
I think it's like, I want to say in Pinehurst, it's like $500 just to get the permit to get it taken out. And then you got to actually pay to get it taken out.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. Because like they're like, don't touch our trees. They want to know what kind of tree it is. Squirrels were shitting and pissing in this tree. That's what my neighbor told me. Like, you gotta get rid of this tree, Frank. The squirrels are shitting and pissing in it. And I was like, I don't even know what that means.
I know I'm lighting stacks of cash on fire at the end of every month, but I don't think about trees at all.
No. It's nice when you have nice trees, I will say. There's a couple nice trees in my backyard.
As a renter, I don't deal with trees.
No, you don't deal with trees. You don't deal with fucking hearing squirrels running on your fucking roof because they're jumping from the tree.
No.
Trees are
Give
great.
Frankie some trees out there in his village.
Just let me do what I'm thinking about, wearing all black and like a ninja outfit, and I'm like gonna go out in the middle of the night and I'm gonna start throwing seed down. Like I'm gonna start throwing seed down, but my fear is that they're gonna keep cutting it down.
Well,
someone keeps cutting down all the fucking greenery.
Also, you plant those trees like when you see
Years.
it's gonna be decades, dude.
I'm
Before
gonna
it gets
walk
high
out-
enough and big enough to block out the area you want, you're gonna be sitting. You're gonna be.
I'm gonna
pooping
go
your
to a
pants eating
nursery with
applesauce.
big ass 8 fucking foot trees. I'm just gonna fucking walk down the street with them. And people are gonna be
All
like,
Bunyan style.
where's Frank going? It's like he's going to the end of the block and he's getting this shit done. Put my foot down. Fuck.
How was Pizza Fest?
Pizza Fest was unbelievable.
It looked great.
It's the greatest day of pizza in the world. That's a fact, right? Like the history of pizza, whenever it was invented. I don't actually know when pizza was invented. I don't know if they have a date.
I'll look it up.
I'm assuming it was in Italy long time ago where they figured out the yeast and the whole entire deal. Is there an answer to this? When was pizza invented?
The 18th century. The pizza we know today evolved in Naples, Italy in the 18th century. but its origins can be traced back to ancient cultures.
Okay. Well, my grandfather's family's my grandfather's from Naples, a little town outside Naples.
I'm gonna
Which
probably
makes
eat some
sense.
pizza tonight, boys. I'm gonna go to Lisi Italian down the street. I'm gonna eat some
It's
pizza.
beautiful.
Can't
Beautiful,
wait.
beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, pizza. And the community is great. What Dave does is great. It's amazing. He made a couple like heartfelt speeches about like I like never knew that just doing a video for 3 minutes eating a slice of pizza would turn into this. And you look out and it's 10,000 people showed up. 35 of the most iconic pizzerias in the country were there. Everyone is helping everyone. It's crazy. I mean, I went as like I hit up Austin and he gave me a nice VIP badge where you can kind of walk wherever you want. I was like, oh, we're gonna have the greatest day of pizza. I'm gonna see all these old pizzerias, see some old friends at some of these places that like they knew me. I'm the one that like contacted a lot of these guys, so like they've kept in touch with us. Like this guy Nino.
Is it like a Frankie Austin? Is there a little like riff there? Is like the two pizza
Austin
guys?
Austin's unbelievable. What he's had to do in his
like,
no.
I
think some of the old school guys just remember me from like being there that first time, and like they've used to reach out to me whenever they wanted to send Dave something, whatever. So I just like Al Santillo, like I've talked to him on the phone like back in the day for hours after the review came out. He didn't know what was going on. Why is he getting so busy from this pizza? Like, you know what I mean? Like it was we just like go way back, and it was really, really fun. And I thought I'd be able to walk around, and I saw the look in my dad's eyes where he's like, you got to get back here. Like we had just started and the lines were insane. We were in between. Borelli's is a 7.9. It's a family style pizza. The reason why Borelli's is there is because of the story. My dad, we've been there for 70 years, but you're in between some iconic pizzerias. One of my favorite parts about Borelli's is that we've been around for 70 years, but we've never improved the pizza over 70 years. Right?
That's not a meritocracy pick.
No. There's no way, right? We're the only ones in the sevens in the whole entire place. Now I will say, like Elio's place got a 10 back in the day, but it's like he's there fucking slinging out cheesy football style pizza. I think if you went back and redid that, it might be the same as Borelli's. But Elio is so funny. Like I was like, Elio, how's it going? He's like, I gotta get out of here. He's like, I don't want to make these pizzas anymore. He's killing me. He was like, it's never ending.
The video of your dad going up to him, I don't know why, I got a lot of joy out of that video. Just like two guys who've been in it for a long time and are just out there slinging.
So yeah, my dad put in 16-hour day. We ended up estimating, I think it was like 480 pizzas he made. Little kind of bar pies, 8 slices each. You're talking like 4,000 minimum slices at that point. So really, really busy day. And yeah, we were just cranking them out. I had my mom there, my Aunt Angela, my cousin Steven, his wife. My wife was there, and we just got down and dirty. We had the fucking gloves on, and like basically my dad would make the pizza, Steven would cut it, my mom would put the basil on, my Aunt Angela would hand it to me, and then me and Hannah would take the plate, put the paper on it, I would put the slice on, and then I'd push it up, and then someone would grab it. And that little movement didn't stop for 10 hours. Yeah. I'm talking when you put a pizza up, someone grabbed it. So there was never ending. And then the lines would form when like a couple of the pizzas just took a little longer. So now you're talking to people, you're taking photos. It was crazy. It was a crazy day. But yeah, I wouldn't trade it for anything, man. It's like that pizza fest is unbelievable. And Dave is giving the proceeds to Al Santillo, whose pizza place burned down to the ground. He's building a new one. So Dave's not even keeping $1 from this thing. 10,000 people showed up. Unbelievable. Just crazy. And it really is an amazing event. They have like their old school ovens in this parking lot, basically in the middle of Randall's Island. I don't know how they pull off the logistics. I really don't.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It looked awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
It does. It looks sick. Video wise, we got episode 3 of the Hater series is coming back on Wednesday. I believe that video is coming out. We're 1-1, coming off a big win. This next one is great. He's a former, I believe, like baseball player. I think he played a little professional baseball, a good amount of receipts of talking a lot of shit about your boy. And then there was a little, we had a little bit of a weather delay after the second hole. So we went into the bar, he got a little bit tuned up and he was running his mouth. This guy was running his fucking mouth.
Good.
So there was a very serious incentive to win this golf match. Played at this place, Renaissance, up in Haverhill, Massachusetts, which is a really, really sick private club just north of Boston. They got a really cool pub that they had just kind of put in. So there's some of that. It's almost a little vloggy style during the rain delay. And the golf course is a very difficult golf course. Greens were running hilariously fast. People were going to laugh at the first hole when we found out how fast they were rolling. But a heated match, as you can imagine. And it's episode 3. So, like I said, 1-1. A win here would put us 2-1 against the haters. And we're back. We're doing it.
I spent a good amount of time with you over the weekend. We not only did we go to the Solheim Cup together, but we flew from Dallas to, where did we fly into? One of the DC airports, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, watching you get a lot of support now, like people being like, "Fuck yeah, man!" Like we wanted you to win one, and you got it. Like I like seeing that. You know, we all get different things where it's like I got breaking whatever and daily 9 and stuff, but it's nice to have something where people are like, we needed that one, and I like seeing that.
Huge, very noticeable.
Huge.
I'm with you. I noticed that over the last 3 weeks or so, 2 weeks since that video came out. So I very much appreciate that. And you're right. It is nice. Like you've got the breaking 90, you've got fixing Frankie. It's like, this is kind of now with these guys, when they see me, they're like, hey, way to fucking take that guy down. You know, like people are fired up.
Yeah, you need something tangible for people to say, because it's like, they're not just gonna be like, hi, I like to view all of your content. It's like, you need something in the top of their mind that's like easy to kind of remember and grab a hold of and be like, I loved that video that I watched 2 days ago. And now that like we're keeping like a record, like, you know what, like you got to win on, like, that's nice. Like 1-1, feeling good, rolling to the next one.
And you defeated an internet troll. What's better than that?
235,000 views in only a week. Like this thing's crushing it. So at the end of the day, it's an amazing series. We got another video coming up with an absolute lunatic, apparently, from what you're saying. And that's great. That's what we want. We want lunatics. We want people that hate you, because that's what the series is.
Yep. That's exactly right. He was running his mouth from the very first hole. He was kind of annoying, to be honest with you. Nice guy at the end of the day, but he was like a little annoying, a little running his mouth, trying to get under everybody's skin. And that, you know me, I'm a competitive guy. And that right away fueled everybody to be like, let's fucking beat this guy. And it is funny, they come into our world like Brendan, Jared, Bush, like there's no surprise, Kyle Timms, there's no surprise, like there's no questioning, like they want me to win. They want us to win. So these trolls, these internet, the fucking haters, they come into our world and they know it, and it's fun doing these. So it's a big match. That one's coming out Wednesday. That'll be episode 3. We're trying to get to a winning record against the haters. Rory McIlroy. I loved watching Rory at Royal County Down. Kind of choked away another one, which, he was very candid, as he always is, when talking about it afterwards. He had, I think at one point, a 4-shot lead in the final round. Royal County Down is like, I think Golf Digest ranked the number 1 ranked course in the world at one point over the last few years. It was really fun to watch him play. The course does look absolutely sick. Rory was making eagles all throughout the weekend. Every time I looked, the scoring was not that low. So the course was kind of defending itself. But then Hogard goes out there and made like 4 birdies in the last 6 holes. Rory had a tough couple bogeys, I think on like 14 and 17. And then he had to eagle the 72nd hole. And he actually hit 2 fantastic shots, had a really good try.
He had a chance.
I know. He had a great putt too. It just kind of burned the edge. And he ended up coming up 1 stroke short. But Irish Open, National Opens are fantastic. We've said that for years now.
Yeah.
And watching this one, regardless of Rory coming up short or not, it was very fun to watch kind of the entire weekend, I thought.
Yeah. I just want him to win, That's what I want. It's tough. He's on a tough stretch here. Everybody knows about his struggles recently, but no, that golf course looks unbelievable. Like if we ever get over there, we gotta go there.
I know.
Yeah. We gotta make an Ireland trip for sure. I definitely feel like someone was just like slightly blowing air on the tip of my penis when I was over there, and I didn't play much golf. Just.
Yep. No, we'll get over there. Scotland's like some of the most fun I've ever had doing this job. Just being able to see that place, and I think Ireland is pretty similar with obviously the history and all that. So we got to get over there.
Yeah, we were doing a little Western Gales chatter the other day when we played that little round on Western Gales after we had the whiskey tasting and whatnot. The Scotland trip was great. But yeah, Ireland, I've never been to Ireland. None of us have ever really played much golf in Ireland at all. So we got to get over there and do a trip for sure. I think, is it next year that the Open Championship, I think, is back at Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland?
Yes.
I think it is.
Yep, it is.
Maybe we parlay that into a little something.
Be nice.
That's what we did with Scotland.
Be real nice.
Mm-hmm. How sick is the like poker, dice, cards,
Oh my god.
TaylorMade stuff. I mean,
Oh my god.
holy
The head
shit.
cover, the putter head cover is insane.
What are you going to go with? You go with that or the Pac-Man?
I'm
I
switching
know.
to the I'm switching to the because like that King of Hearts or whatever it is
Yeah.
is as good as anything I've ever seen.
It is good.
Phenomenal. I mean, just phenomenal. I put it right in my bag
I'm
too.
doing that. I'm putting it right in the bag.
You have to.
We were for all the listeners out there, we were laughing because it's such a sign of how good a couple of the latest drops are from TaylorMade that the Pac-Man head cover on our putters, we got down to PGA Frisco, and we all probably have 10, 15 putter head covers at this point, from Barstool Golf merchandise to courses we've been to TaylorMade drops. And all three of us in the very first hole noticed that we're rocking the Pac-Man TaylorMade head cover.
Yeah.
The collabs they do are crazy.
You throw the Pac-Man like start screen on a fucking head cover, and it's like, how am I not? And the way it sits on a putter is amazing. It's a great looking head cover, but I have to switch to this deck of cards one. It is so good. I can't wait to see that in the bag. Just the looks and like the oohs and the ahs you're gonna get. It's so clean. It's so vibrant. Sticks out like crazy.
That's good. That's really good. All right. And then Patton Kizzire, that was the last one. He broke through, won the first event of the fall series. It was his first win in 6 years. I saw a bunch of guys, Keith Mitchell, a bunch of other guys were out there congratulating him on the green. We had him on the show after he won in Hawaii, whatever that was, 6 years ago, Trent. And that kind of stuck with me. He was telling us all about like the limo that they had for him when he won, and he was kind of talking through the whole process after he had won, and that kind of stuck with me because he was one of our earlier guests 6 years ago, and we were doing that. So nice to see him break through. Peter Millar guy, so he's rocking Peter Millar out there, which I love. He looked clean, looked like a winner. So congratulations to him. Otherwise, boys, hour and a half into this thing, been a long ass day in the rain.
Take a real quick shot.
Oh yeah, take a shot there.
Yeah, please take a shot.
I have made one.
Not drinking for the people listening. He's taking a basketball shot.
That's right.
Here we go. Skills Pro Mini Hoop from our friends at Skills.
Yep. Come on.
Oh god.
Oh,
Back of the rim, man. Miss.
not a bad effort.
You know who was also Peter Millar guy? President Obama.
President Obama.
Wearing
Hey,
Peter Millar.
He was.
two presidents that we've met were both wearing Peter Millar. George W. Bush and President Obama were both wearing. Both sides of the aisle, Peter Millar.
Presidential outfits.
Yep.
Presidential.
So
All
if your name is Andy Tutman or Jeff Marsh, reach out to me or
photographs.
Yes.
Why don't you go check those camera rolls? You know, why don't I double check whatever you got there and send all that stuff to us? That
Send
would
everything you have.
Yeah,
I want everything.
Really want hibachi.
I want $20 million as well. That's also on the table.
Austin, Texas. I'm coming to Austin, Texas this weekend. Pup Punk is back. We're going to Buford's Friday night.
Do you think at any point you just leave this, what we're doing here, and you're like, I'm a rock star now?
It's just crazy. Like, you know, it's like we can't stop doing them. They're so much fucking fun. They are so much fun. It'd be crazy to stop doing them. I'm
not saying stop. I'd have to
think about quitting. Yeah, I'd have to.
It's
If
unbelievable.
they were like, hey, we have 40 shows for you next year around the whole world, right? I'd be like, I might have to think about it.
I don't blame you, dude.
Yeah,
Being a rock star is way better than being a golf podcaster.
Yeah.
Also, rock stars play golf before like every single one of their shows. So why can't we just parlay that bitch?
True.
Right.
Me and Riggs will just travel with you guys. Then we'll be like sort of
unbelievable.
Groupies.
We're playing golf with Noah Khan next week.
We are, yeah.
Right before one of his major festival performances. So
True.
Like,
I'm very jealous.
and we're filming a video, so it's like he's just doing a golf podcast and playing in front of 100,000 people. He's
able
great
to do it
too.
He's able to do it.
Right, he can do it.
My first time in Austin. You guys have been to Austin. I'm very excited. I heard this place we're playing is supposed to be legendary. It's going to be crazy. Friday night, Austin, Texas. Like the lights are going to be shining bright. It's like PFT's like kind of homecoming. He did a bunch of time in Austin.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun. You guys loved Austin, right? When you guys went?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we were there. We were there for a while because we had like a weird spot in between. Like whatever, we were in Birmingham or something 2 days before, and then went there. So we were in Austin,
and
for
it was
a while.
a 2-day classic. So yeah, we were there for a while. We went to me and Tommy Smokes did the Mothership. You got to stop by there if you can.
That's right.
Yep. Joe Rogan's comedy store.
Yeah, go see some comedians.
Some good food, barbecue.
Oh, so good.
I was just trying to find the Austin BBQ place that everybody told us to go to that we went to. That was fantastic. Pull it up here. Terry Black's BBQ, Frankie.
Terry Black's.
Yep, that's
Terry
a
Black's. Found this picture right here of some of that
Amazing.
BBQ that I got.
hit up. Just hit up Jeff D'Lo. He'll tell you everything you know about Austin,
Yeah,
Texas.
That's true.
True.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, he's gonna line me up.
Bro, he's gonna give you. He's gonna send you a whole folder of stuff.
Unbelievable.
And I
So
played
good.
I played Austin Country Club when we were there. It was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, the holes that they got down by the bridge there. Remember on the river?
That place
Yeah,
is
where they play
lake.
the match play.
Yep, exactly.
Man,
Played out there
I
with
saw
some guys.
Francis is going to be out there doing he's got like comedy shows in Austin this weekend also. Maybe I'll bring the sticks. Me and Francis will play right before the show. That'd be cool.
You should.
I didn't
I could
think
put
of
you
golf out there.
put you in touch with my Austin Country Club guy. He was the man. Great
There
guy.
you go.
Look at this. Look at this.
See, rock
And,
star
I mean-
and a golfer.
I just need trees, man. I need trees at the end of my block. New York State Highway Department, hit me up. My line is open, baby, because this is something, it's causing issues in the house. Real issues. I can't. I'm like, why our block? You know, of all the blocks, why do they keep cutting down my trees?
Yeah.
Another guy we saw in Austin, office manager Brett's
hell
an
is
Austin
that?
guy. now.
OMB.
Oh, dude, I'm definitely gonna hear from office manager Brett. 100%. Man, I forgot there's so many people in Austin. I'm very
Austin's
know.
jacked up
happening in
about
town,
this now.
man.
I know.
I should fucking fly out today. I should get out
He
there
would-
now.
He was in his element, man. He was beaming ear to ear, telling us all about Austin.
Drinking
It was
pitchers
great.
of beer. It was
Nothing better than office manager Brett when he posts his like aesthetically pleasing like townhouse videos where it's like the fall is there and he lights a pumpkin candle and like he's got the floor to ceiling windows. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you
Oh,
seen
yeah.
these? He's
Oh,
got
yeah.
the lighting on dim and like Red Zone is on the TV or like Monday Night Football's on the TV and the sun is setting in the background. He's like this and he writes like the caption perfect like white font right in the middle. I love that. I live for aesthetically pleasing Instagram stories. You know who also crushes it is our guy at TaylorMade, JP.
JP.
Phenomenal.
JP nails aesthetically pleasing Instagram stories.
He really
Phenomenal.
does.
Like the way that he's able to like film playing hockey with his son is crazy. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
it's like the most high def, incredible footage, and you know he's doing it on his own.
Oh, yeah.
JP.Ongpin, I guess is how you would say the last name, right?
I've never known how to say his last
JP
name, to be honest with you.
That's the first time I've ever had to attempt it.
Yeah, I've seen it a
honest.
million
Usually
times
just
on
reading it.
Instagram.
Usually just reading it.
Ongpin. It's great. It's really like even like just like this post is like he definitely took that, but it's so clean, you know?
Yeah.
It's so clean, man.
This is a lot because you're good at this stuff too. This is
Mhm.
high praise.
Oh, his stories are what I aspire to be. Like I'm telling you, man, the way that he just like even this like you see that like how it's right in the middle of the blue.
Yeah.
Like, he just knows. He knows spacing and that's why his job is like literally to edit and post content, and it's incredible. Yeah, whatever. We're talking now in circles.
All right.
All right.
I got to
I'm
eat.
done.
This guy's got to get the hell out of here.
I gotta
gotta
eat.
go eat. Been a long day.
Get some hibachi there, Frank.
All right.
all
We'll
I
be back.
got.
Everybody go watch Hater.
Yes,
Coming out Wednesday. Go watch all of our stuff that's out there. And we'll be back Thursday. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit hard.